Welcome back to the Potty Diaries. We are on day 6, so it has almost been a week since we started, and about the only things we have left to do for being able to say we are officially getting done is getting him to go potty in strange toilets that he's not familiar with, like taking him to the store or grandma's house or out to the park restrooms and stuff like that, and putting him in underpants. The underpants are actually proving difficult because he's a 2T, and I want to put him in boxers because they're kind of loose and they don't feel like a diaper. But finding boxers that small is actually kind of difficult unless you want to pay like $20 a pair, and I do not. The best I can find are boxer briefs, so I think if maybe I order a size up, they should be loose enough, so we'll see. Oh, he's looking for us. Shh. But he has only had one accident today, and immediately as soon as he started to pee, he goes ew and started yelling for me to come help him, which is great because it has showed that he has learned that you do not pee on the floor. It is gross when you pee on the floor, and that he needs my help. So that's awesome for progress. He did have a couple of got up too fast incidents where he started to pee in his potty and then just stood up too fast and finished on the floor. So yeah, there was just something more interesting to be done, and yeah, but at least he didn't get his shorts wet for those incidents, and so we've only gone through one pair of shorts today, which is a new record. So we're getting better every day, and it's great. I am so impressed with him right now. Like, just watching everything he is learning so fast. He even left his cartoon today to come tell me he had to go potty at the other end of the house. Now, I would have preferred he just went potty, but the fact that he was aware of it far enough in advance to stop what he was doing, come get me, and then still make it to the bathroom, get his pants down, and sit on the potty in time to pee is awesome. Like, that is fantastic progress for only being 6 days in. Wow. And he's starting to consolidate when he goes, because at the beginning he was having lots of little pees, which I suspect is how he went when he was in his diaper. But now that he is actually going to the potty, he's going less often, but more at once, which is great because the more he consolidates, the more we can do in between potty runs. Probably the most successful thing that we have been doing right now, though, has been his naps and nighttime. He has had 0 nap accidents in this entire time. None whatsoever. And nighttime, this set of sheets has been on this bed for 3 days now. So that's pretty cool. He did the other night wet the pajama pants he was wearing because I woke him up and set him down to pee, and he sat for a while and then was going all done. So I helped him stand up and pulled up his pants, and they were immediately wet. So he just didn't sit quite long enough that time, and it happens. But that was a fast and easy change. So yeah, I'm so proud of him. He's learning so much, not only these new potty skills, but also a ton of vocabulary. I don't think I've mentioned before that Soren has kind of a speech delay. He's about 8 months behind on his speech, and we've been seeing a speech therapist, and he's catching up, and actually catching up rather rapidly, so that's great. But he has so many new words related to this potty experience. I think she's going to be really impressed when we come back to her on Tuesday this week. He's got pee and potty and wet and ew and oh no. So he's learning a lot of, that's a lot of new words in less than a week, you know? I mean, he kind of said ew before, but it was always about food. And now he knows that it applies to multiple things that are gross. That doesn't say anything about my cooking. He's a toddler. Everything is ew when it's food, okay? So he is learning so much, and I'm so proud. You know, he's doing such a great job, this little guy. So, good stuff. This is a big milestone. I did not expect this to go this fast, and I'm so excited. Tomorrow I have a few things I might try to do it tonight. I need to go through the diapers and get them ready to be inventoried and packed up, so I know what we have, what I need to repair, and what I'm going to need to replace when we have another kid. So that's still on the to-do list, but the fact that he is self-initiating his potty trips more often and consolidating when he needs to go means I have more time back. I don't have to hover over him anymore like I did the first couple of days, making sure he made it, because for the most part, he's good on his own now. I do still prompt before, the major bathroom times, when he wakes up, when he's going to bed, and before and after meal times. So the other time that you would really want to prompt if you're doing this at this point is before and after car rides. Because you know how good the car is for making kids go, I gotta go to the bathroom, every time. Every time. And of course, if you have more than one kid, they're all at different stops if you don't make them all pee at the first one. Yeah. But since nighttime has been going so well for us, I wanted to share some of my tips for successful nighttime training. This is my third go at it, and I've got stuff to share. Really, we do pretty much stick to Jamie's advice in the Oh Crap potty training book. And by that I mean we wake them up at night. Not all the way. You're not trying to start a baby rave in the middle of the night. You're just trying to get them used to the idea that their body needs to move out of their bed for them to go potty. One of the hard parts about doing that is deciding when to wake them up. And for us, we were still changing diapers during the night because he would wake himself up wet and need a diaper change. So we picked those times as kind of starter markers for when we figure he needs to wake up to go to the bathroom. Obviously, we picked a little bit before he would usually wake up wet because we want to catch him before he wets the bed, right? But if you're not, what you can do is think about how long their nap is. Most kids are sleeping about an hour or two, so if you figure they can hold their pee that long, think about when your bedtime is, and then maybe start about 2 hours after that as your first marker. Then you should be able to double that and wait another 4 hours before you check again, because they won't have had any extra fluids after that first check, right? So there's not necessarily a whole lot of liquid needing to leave the body. Obviously, if you go check on them and they're wet, you need to move your time up so that the next time you're catching them before that happens. If you check them consistently and they're dry at that point a few nights in a row, but you might be able to drop that check. If you check them the first time and they are dry, but they are wet by the second time, you need to either move that first check later or move that second check earlier. So there's a little bit of trial and error that goes ahead with it. But if you are still changing diapers at night, that's going to be your best shot at getting it right from the start. Now, to help with that, we also do what Jamie calls the upside down fluid pyramid, which means your kids have unrestricted access to their drinks first thing after they wake up, and then as it gets closer to them going to sleep, it's less and less available. Now, that doesn't mean withhold water from your kids. Absolutely not. But they have to ask for it. And that is to help with making sure that they're not just drinking because they're bored or because it's there. For a lot of kids toddler age, sucking is still kind of a comfort thing. So they may be sucking on their sippy cup or water bottle or whatever just for comfort or just because it's there out of habit. And you want to restrict that because the more fluids they're taking in before they need to sleep, the more likely they are to have to let go of those fluids while they're asleep. So by doing that, it really helps increase their chances of waking up from their naps dry and you getting to them in time for their night checks. Now, it's all about handing your kids success. You're building confidence. You're building their confidence in themselves and your confidence in them. And the more confident both of you are, the better this will go. Now, if you are still nursing before bed, this is gonna be tricky because you don't really know how much your kid is taking in. They may not be getting anything at all and just dry nursing for comfort, or they may be having an entire 4 ounces. You don't know because it's coming out of your breast. It's not like you can see it and measure it before the kid takes it down. I mean, if you wanted to pump into a bottle and give yourself that extra effort, I guess you could. But if you're straight up nursing, that's like, don't make it harder on yourself. Assume they can hold it as long as their nap is, really. Because if you're nursing for nap and you're nursing for bed and you know they can sleep through their nap, you have at least that long, right? But definitely make sure that you are asking them to go potty. No, don't ask. Have them go potty before you start the bedtime process, or at least before you start the end steps. So go potty, then nurse, then go to bed. So that way you know they at least got some of it out before you're adding anything. And so far that has worked really well for us. Now, some of the pitfalls we have fallen into is not getting up when you need to. And set yourself an alarm. Most of us probably sleep with our phones next to our bed. You can usually turn the volume down on the phone so that you're the only one that hears it, or at least your partner doesn't hear it enough to also wake them up. My husband needs to learn this because he leaves his all the way up right now, so I'm about to break his phone. Not really, but I'll probably end up turning it down for him. Anyway, so turn down the volume so that the whole house doesn't wake up, but so that you still hear it, because nobody likes to change sheets in the middle of the night. And usually your kid wakes up and they're upset and it's not fun for anybody, so just set the alarm. Trust me. You won't have to do it forever. It's very short term. So if you do it right and you do it consistently, the kid will pick up on it pretty fast. You know, they are capable, they are willing, and they can totally do it. If you are separating night training from day training, which we have done in the past, this time we did it all in one go, but we've done it separately before. If you are separating them, a good sign that they are ready, or that it will be easier and more successful for you, is when they are dry for their nap time pretty consistently. You know, barring them being extra tired or sleeping longer than normal or actually sick and lethargic, you know, those are times you would expect some nap time accidents. But if on a normal day they're usually dry during nap time, go ahead and start nighttime training. Because at that point you know they can hold their pee long enough for you to give some time between going to bed and waking them up. The other great tip that we have used very successfully in the past is the fleece blanket. Now, what the heck do you use this for, you might say? Well, if you've ever had to change a full bed and a wet child in the middle of the night, you know sometimes that really, really sucks. Especially because since you're potty training, you probably have a grip protector down underneath too to protect the mattress. So that's 2 things you gotta pull off and put in the dirty laundry and then replace while your kid is probably sitting on the floor crying, wondering why they're awake. So not fun. And even worse is you do all that and they're not just sitting on the floor crying, wondering why they're awake, but they're up and playing and ready to go for the day at 3 in the freaking morning. Nobody wants that. Nobody. The other thing you can do, and I'm sorry if this sounds gross and weird, but sometimes all of that commotion is enough to wake your kid up. So if your kid wets the bed and they're not completely soaking everything, if the bed is just a little bit damp and most of the wetness is on them in their pajamas, change their pajamas real fast and if you have any like fleece blankets like this, lay it down over the accident, because these repel liquids and it will keep your kid comfortable enough that they can go back to sleep and not get wet in the process. These like almost minky ones kind of work, but not as well as the like micro fleece type of ones. But I know it sounds gross, but trust me, you'll be much better off doing something like that than that whole coat, especially if you can't really see to change the sheets. You don't want to be turning on lights and waking the kids up, because nobody wants to start their day at 3 in the freaking morning, right? Yeah. And then when you get up, yes, you've made one more piece of laundry for yourself, but your kid went back to sleep, so it's okay. You just put all of it. It's about a full load of laundry at the point. You bundle up, huck it in the wash, you're good to go. So, day 7 then. So we have officially been working on this thing for a week, and he's doing a really good job. I have basically stopped prompting. I do still suggest that he goes before meal times and before he's going to sleep and when he wakes up. So, you know, the times I want him to think about going to the bathroom so that he can do whatever activity uninterrupted. But other than that, I am letting him rely on catching his own signals. And so far today, he's done it. He did have a little bit of a dribble earlier. Hey, buddy. Yeah. Are you all wet?
Alright.
But he's done so good. We're outside playing. So, you say hi?
Hi.
He was a little confused when we came out to the pool. He tried to take off his swim bottoms, which I don't object to on principle. What, buddy? Done? Yeah, a little bit. But I don't object to him playing naked on principle, just that our backyard is not the most private. So I don't know how many of the neighbors actually want to see a toddler penis today. So after I convinced him, yes, it's okay, keep your shorts on in the water, he did fine. He hasn't told me if he needs to pee yet or not, but he did have a good pee before we came out. So he's probably good for about an hour. Hold on, buddy. He wants me to watch him splash, so hang on. You going around, buddy? Yeah. Woo. Uh-oh, there's a sister going around too. But yeah, he's pretty much done. The only thing we can really do at this point is take him out into different environments to learn how to use strange potties out in the wild. But that's kind of hard right now when we're not really going anywhere. So we'll work that out as we come to it. At least if he gets more and more comfortable going when he knows he needs to go, we can work on that part later. So yeah, this is the fastest I have ever potty trained a kid, and I'm loving it. I'm going to pack up the remnants of what I have left out for the diapers, and that's it. So it almost feels too easy. It really does. Like, I feel like this should have been more difficult than it was. I guess we do have one point where it's kind of a struggle. He's developed this routine, and he is pooping very well on the potty, self-initiating too. It's just you gotta catch him before he starts trying to put his shorts back on. But last night and the night before, not the night before, the night before that, so last night and then 3 nights ago, he had this thing where we went potty, got ready for bed, and had a final potty check right before starting to nurse and go to sleep for the night. And then he kind of got up from nursing and ran around the corner or I left the room and then was suddenly yelling, "Mom, ew!" and there was poop. So he's had a couple of poop accidents, and I'm not really sure what to do about that, because it's not that it's the pants that bother him, because he's done it just fine with the pants like 3 or 4 times, pretty much every day. Yeah, actually pretty much every day. More often than not, he has gone poop in the potty while still having to take his pants off first. But for some reason, those couple of nights, he pooped in his pants right before bedtime and after having gone to the potty. I'm not in any particular rush for him to have to go to bed. If he needs to use the potty 5 or 6 times, go ahead. He's learning. If that's what it takes to make him comfortable. I mean, obviously, I will miss the time to myself at the end of the night, because that's usually all the time I get in the day. But if that's what it takes to get him comfortable with knowing that he's ready to go to bed and doesn't have to go potty, that's fine. And I have no problem leaving him alone to poop. If he just tells me he needs to go potty at this point, I leave the room anyway. So it doesn't matter if he's peeing or pooping, he can do it alone. But I don't know what his hesitation is, so we need to puzzle that out before he's done, really. Yeah, you're eating. Is it cake? Oh, she gave it to you? That's so nice of her to share. Okay, so like I said, he's basically done. And that means for us this week, we are pretty much returning to operations as normal. And the first thing that needs to happen is I really need to clean my house. Come here, come look at this. Jeez, I don't even really want to show you guys this, but like, look, my whole living room. We did take the covers off of the couch because he's to the point that we're not really worried about him just peeing on the couch now. But yeah, there's a random Amazon box, like everything. It's a wreck. So we're gonna have to do a disaster clean in this place soon, I think. Yeah, counter of shame right there. No. But since he is about done, we are going to resume normal operations, and I'll be able to take care of all of that. And the kids are going to help me. Because you best believe they made that mess, they can clean it up.